position of a point in space is determined by its distance and direction from other points. The statement of position is accomplished by means of frame of reference or a point of reference, which we call the origin, that is O, which is the starting point. In order to locate the position of a point in space, such as blackboard, the wall of a room, or a drawing paper, it is customary to draw two lines intersecting at an origin O and perpendicular to each other. That is the X and the Y axis. The X and the Y axis. The vertical line going up the board, like here, it is the Y axis, while the horizontal line going across the board from left to right is X axis. So, it is customary to draw two lines, as I have drawn them on the board, intersecting at an origin or and perpendicular to each other. Look at it here. This is two lines. They are intersecting at an origin O. This is O, which is the starting point. Intersecting at an origin O, which is the starting point, and perpendicular to each other. They are perpendicular to each other. That is, one is going up and one is across the one that is going up, which is from left to right. This one that is going up is called the y-axis. It is going up the board from bottom to the top. It's called the y-axis, while the one going across the board from left to right is called the x-axis. So, the horizontal line going across from left to right of the board is called the x-axis, as I have explained, and the vertical line going up the board is the y-axis. So by convention, points to the right of O along the x-axis, they are positive. Point to the right of O along the x-axis, they are positive. And point to the left of O along the x-axis, they are negative. And point above O along the y-axis, they are positive. Point below O along the y-axis, they are negative. So as you can see here, from here to here is x1. This is x2, x3, x4, and x5. And this is minus x1, minus x2, minus x3, minus x4, and minus x5. Along the y-axis, this is y1, y2, y3, y4, and y5. They are all positive. While below is minus 1, which means minus y1, minus y2, minus y3, minus y4, and minus y5. So this is how to locate a point by making a reference to x and the y axis, whether on the blackboard, the wall of a room, a drawing paper, and so on and so forth. As far as it is a plane, like a plain paper, if you use a plain paper, you have to draw two lines intersecting at an origin O in order to locate a point by making a reference to x and the y axis. By making a reference to x and y axis. So this is how to locate. For instance here, the point P is x1 and y1. Point P is x1 and y1. So, the position of any point such as P, that P, is specified by two quantities or coordinates, the x and the y axis, as I have explained. X and the y axis, or x and the y coordinates. If the position phi is specified by the coordinates x and y, x1, y1. It means that the distance of P from O in the x direction is x1. As you can see here, it is x1. This is x1. And in the y direction, it is y1. In the y direction, it is y1. As you can see here, it is y1. So, it is y1. So the s-coordinates is called the abscissa, which is the second name for the x-coordinate. It's also called abscissa, while the y-coordinate is also called the ordinate. So abscissa is a second name for x-axis. Ordinate is a second name for y-axis, respectively. If I say abscissa, I means x-axis. If I say ordinate, I means y-axis. So they are the second name for each of them. Is that clear?
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Do you all understand, class?
Yes.
You all understand? Very good. Any question? Any question? Any question? So, we call it a day.